everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friend, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I believe everyone has intuition. So, on tonight's episode, we are revisiting an older episode of Tarot by Hilary Live, the weekly, whatever this is, series of episodes in which I talk about using tarot to break through some writer's blocks and just using tarot for writing in general. Because it is November at the time of the recording. If you happen to be watching this live, welcome. If you happen to be watching this later on, at the time of present recording, we are in November, which is National Novel Writing Month. Originally founded by Christopher Beatty, I believe, B-A-T-Y, and has since then ballooned into this crazy endeavor that happens every November where a group of people get together wherever they're from across the country. I don't know if it's necessarily international, but it certainly can be. And they get together in November and they decide to write a 50,000 word novel in 1 month's time. Yes, it sounds crazy, but I can confidently say, and it sounds impossible as well, but I can say I am a 2-time NaNoWriMo winner, which means I have done it not once, but twice. I've written a 50,000 word novel in 1 calendar month. So yay for me, but this is not to brag. This is more to tell you that it is absolutely realistic to be able to write a novel in 1 month, if you're thinking about it. And it is currently November 6th. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm already 2 behind and I've already lost 6 days. Nay, my friend, we are embarking on a weekend, so you could definitely catch up to your writing goal. You, in order to catch up to day 6, you just have to write 10,000 words, 10,002 words in order to catch up to today's writing goal. Now, if you had started from day 1, the daily writing goal is 1,667 words a day in a 30-day month. So if you decide that you don't want to do it at the same time as everybody else in November, and honestly, I think you should if you want to try it out, because honestly, the momentum of so many people doing the action of writing a novel at the same time, it just gives momentum, and you're all in it together, and there's support and there's encouragement. That's why I would recommend, if you do decide to do it, that you try it out in November when everybody else is doing it. However, if your schedule or calendar doesn't line up with that and you have a free month and you want to attempt it, 1,667 words a day for a 30-day month, and that is your own little NaNoWriMo yourself. So hi, Katie. Katie is here tuning in over on YouTube. We are simulcasting to both Facebook and to YouTube right now. So Katie's here. Hello. Wow, what a writing win. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. But this is what I'm saying. I think it's just so doable. And I would never have really said that had I not done it already. I don't want to come on here and purport that something is doable unless I know it to be truly doable. So, and I am a big, I am a big procrastinator, especially when it comes to writing. And if you have a structure and if you have a word count each and every day, and you kind of put it out there to your friends and family, it's just like, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing this month. You might not see me as much, but I promise you for the rest of the year, I will be so much more present. Not only that, if you have a partner or if you have family members that can hold you accountable and not in a dickish way, that's even better. So the first year that I won NaNoWriMo, I won it because my husband was so supportive, and he wasn't my husband at the time. But he was very supportive of what I was doing, and he always made sure to check in with me and make sure, have you done your writing goal? Have you hit your writing goal yet, Hilary? Like, he was always like very on top of it. To the point where it started to get kind of annoying, but I also appreciated it in the end when I was able to do it and be able to clock over 50,000 words. So yeah, thank you. But at the same time, I want people to know that it is doable if you decide to do it too. Let me put this back up. So what we usually do, if it is your first time viewing, welcome. What we usually do is we have a different topic every week. We do this every week, Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on Facebook or on YouTube, whichever channel you prefer, whatever medium you prefer. I know that some people who regularly view me on Facebook was taking kind of a social media sabbatical, especially in light of the Mercury retrograde. Mercury has now gone direct as of Election Day, Tuesday. So they were starting to tune in on YouTube instead so that they could stay away from social media and have that nice cleanse. But we are broadcasting to both, and I'm seeing all of your comments in there. So what I usually like to do is I cover a different tarot or divination topic every week, open to popular demand and feedback. If you want to learn about runes one week, I mean, let me know. I'm not a rune reader, but I certainly love to experiment, and I love to research different methods of divination and add to my, arsenal, I guess, of divination tools. But I primarily am a tarot reader. Past episodes have included charm casting. We did spirit boards recently. The week before Halloween, I did a reading of The Blue-Nosed Witch by Margaret Embry. Some of you may have watched that episode as well. So basically, this is just a weekly show to discuss different divination topics and also give you some astrology from my dear friend Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, and also give you a weekend forecast to enter into the weekend prepared and armed with either a tarot card message or an oracle card. And in between the astrology and the weekend forecast, we have a different topic to teach. So, like I was saying before, for this week's episode, we are going to revisit a past episode from this series, basically about busting through writer's block by using the tarot. And I thought that it would be very apropos to revisit this episode because it's National Novel Writing Month. So if you happen to be a writer not doing NaNoWriMo, that's fine. This episode's for you too. If you are doing NaNoWriMo and you are stuck at a plot point or a character points and you have a tarot deck, even if you don't have a tarot deck, I've got some resources for you. If you do have a tarot deck, you can pull out your tarot deck and you can flip through it and ask, like, I have a new character coming into the scene. What color hair should they have? Or what physical build should they have? Or what kind of personality should they have? And you can either shuffle and pull something at random, or as random as tarot is or is not. Or you can even look through your tarot deck face up and use the pictures of the tarot deck to brainstorm about different characters that would be in your novel. You can also use this for nonfiction writing as well, for journaling prompts, for example. So if this is interesting to you, then this is the episode for you, and stay tuned. All right. At this point, I've been talking a lot and I need a little bit of hydration. At this point, I usually drink some water, and I encourage you to drink some water too. It's been a little bit of a rough week, so instead of having water, I'm going to have a pumpkin ale. I don't care if it's November. I will still be drinking my pumpkins. And if you see the sign behind me, That's the pumpkin beer that I usually like to get. I have not been able to find any Rosemary's Baby from Two Roads Brewery anywhere. I don't know why. If you know where in Westchester I can find Rosemary's Baby, go ahead and comment. Okay, let me double check that everything is working. Everything is all technically good. I usually like to make sure that we're broadcasting on YouTube as well, but I already know that Katie has commented from YouTube, so I'm pretty sure that YouTube is working correctly, but I always want to be doubly sure. Let us see. And let me make sure the volume is turned all the way down so I don't have an echo effect. Yep. As I suspected, we're good. And I don't need to do that. Okay. All right, let me move this over here. Actually, let me move this over here so I can see it. So let us start off with the astrology, first and foremost, from the Astro Biz Digest from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. Oh, and let me make sure that I've signed out completely from my work stuff. That'd be awkward. All right, hold on one second here. I've got like 1,000,001 tabs open at the same time. And while I'm trying to close up all of these tabs, let me know where you're tuning in from, whether you're tuning in live or you're watching the replay. Go ahead and comment and say where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear it. Oh my goodness, I have so many tabs open right now. No wonder my computer was grumpy before. No. That one I need to stay open, thank you. We're talking about the astrology for today. Okay. All right, we're good. And I know we're good over here. And I know we're good on here as well. All right. Sorry about that. I was making my weird, is the tech working faces right now. And I think I see a certain other writer that's lurking here. I saw a thumbs up. So I'd love to know if she's in here still. Okay. Let us take a look at the astrology for today and for the weekend from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. This is coming from her Astro Biz Digest, which is a yearly subscription for astrology every month and every week and every day of the week, geared specifically towards entrepreneurs, but I have found it to be very beneficial in my own personal life. So if that sounds interesting to you, it's only $99 for a full year's subscription, which I think is like ridiculous. It's a steal, honestly. I think it works out to like, what is it? Around $2 a week. Like, that's ridiculous. You pay more for your coffee addiction than you would pay for the Astro Biz Digest. So let us see here. So today was a little bit crazy regarding the astrology, and I think it continues until 8:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is in the words of Teresa Reed. This day is an astrological shit show full of harsh aspects from the jump until the moon turns void at 8:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With Mercury squaring Saturn at 4:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can bet communication will be rough, unforgiving, and aggravating. The moon will oppose the Capricorn stack at various times, creating many opportunities to get angry or hurt. If you can, please take this day off. I couldn't, unfortunately. If you must work, the best use of this day is for quiet things that don't involve other people. The news cycle could be full of drama, which adds tension as we head into the weekend. Please turn it off and carve out lots of ample time for self-care. It's better that way. So I definitely am feeling those vibes from today, Friday. Let me know if other people have also been experiencing that. I definitely have been feeling that. So for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the moon is in Leo all weekend long, which adds flair and drama to the next 2 days. Make noise, stand out, and amplify your message whenever you can. If you're giving a presentation, this is your chance to shine. Saturday has one aspect to watch out for, a Moon-Uranus square at 5:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which could bring nasty online surprises or unexpected expenses that derail your plans. Deep breaths and try not to panic. Sunday brings a square between the moon and sun at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, an aspect that seems to pry all of the egomaniacs and wannabe dictators out of the closet. Ew. The rest of the day has minor aspects, which feels like a bunch of gnats competing for your attention. Ain't got time for that. The show must go on. Uh-oh. I don't see where the... Oh, here's the formatting things. I don't know what the power days are. I'm going to have to look at another email about that. Give me a second here. Okay, so the 6th is a power day for Cancer. The Mercury square Saturn, communication and marketing fall flat. Watch out for power trippers and aggressive types in the inbox. And tomorrow and Sunday are both power days for Leo. So right on for Leos this weekend. It's a strong one for Leos this weekend. Also wanted to mention, because of the astrology, it sounds like it's a wonderful astrological time for an online conference. And this weekend, I am attending the Kitchen Table Gathering conference online, which was formerly the Card Slingers thingy that we did last year in St. Louis. So this is hosted by Melissa Sinova, who is the author of the most recent Kitchen Table Magic, and she's also the author of Kitchen Table Tarot. And she has a bunch of different teachers coming in, and it's all online. It's all virtual, so you don't have to worry about leaving your house. You don't have to worry about travel, and you can just be safe and snug in your home and learn tarot and magic from some really, really great teachers. So actually, let me pull that up and share that in the link here so that you can check it out. I think there's still time to sign up, but it's going on tomorrow and Sunday as well. Kitchen Table Gathering. I'll let you know if there are tickets still available right now. Yep, it looks like tickets are still available. So I will pop this into the chat right here, and I will display it. So you can go ahead and follow the link. It gives you all the information, who's teaching, what supplies you may need, and the times that they're teaching. And by the way, if you're not able to make it, but you still want to be able to learn and you're concerned about not being around this weekend in order to attend the event live over Zoom virtually, everything's going to be recorded as well. So keep that in mind. So link is there in both places, wherever you're watching, and sign up. Okay. Let me add an item here. Okay, so let's talk about tarot for writers. And let me find the past episode right now. Give me a second here. I think it's this one. Yeah. I think it is. Okay. All right, can everyone see that? Just let me know in the chat. And I nearly just knocked over everything. That was potentially very dangerous. Hopefully I didn't get anything on my phone. As long as I made a mess over there and not on my computer or on my couch. Right morning so that you can get all of your writing out. And it's kind of like and brainstorming astro, the monthly astro, power days, things to look for if you're an Aries, maybe your weekdays, or if you're a Capricorn, here's your power. It highly enough. Talking about so the Astro, you can go ahead and go to her website, www.thetarolady.com, and it's use the top navigation, and I'm sure it's up there. So if you are interested in picking up the AstroBiz Digest for yourself, go to www.thetarolady.com, and I think you can look for AstroBiz Digest, or I think it would just be / at the AstroBiz Digest, or just AstroBiz Digest. There might be some hyphens in there or dashes in there, and you should be able to find it. It's only $99 a year. Really a steal. Highly recommend it. Here's the Ask just for today. Friday is super fly for writing. And keep in mind, this is Teresa's voice. Teresa's writing now. very transparent about this. This is one of my struggles as well, like editing while I'm writing. I just can't help myself. So I'm really trying to get out of that bad habit into a better one, which is just letting the writing flow first and then taking a look at it and editing it later.
Hey, so that lady knows what she's talking about.
Coming up with your ideas or brainstorming your ideas comes first. But you do have to have your mind right before you can brainstorm. And sometimes the best ideas are for writing comes after you've gotten the shit ideas out of your head. So that's the reason why I'm saying get it down on the paper first and then edit later. And sometimes you're going to write a lot of shit before you get to the good stuff. So you have to kind of like clear out the shit by writing out the shit before actually getting to the good nuggets or the good ideas. Like a lot of the times, writers have like wonderful ideas in their head, and then when it comes out on the paper, they're just like, oh, this is not what I wanted to say. But keep going, keep working through that. And on the other side of pushing through it, you'll usually find better ideas and better writing coming out of the page. So my other recommendation about writing is doing morning pages. So morning pages, I believe, was first really discussed in, I believe, and if I'm wrong, please someone correct me in the comments or the chat, by Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way. And this is 3 pages, either handwritten or you can type it out. And you usually want to do it in the morning so that you can get all of your writing out. And it's kind of like a form of journaling, but like not quite. So you would just sit down and you would really just be present and just write whatever you're thinking at that moment, even if it's just like, I really don't want to be writing right now. I hate writing right now, or, like just keep writing, and I would recommend a timer as well for this, so that you time yourself so that when the timer goes off, you're done with your writing. And then if you need more time, go ahead and take the time that you need to get your morning pages done. Another suggestion is going on a meditative walk without headphones, without your phone. Put your phone away and be completely present. Bring a notebook and a pen with you, but keep it in your bag until you need it. And just walk and pay attention to everything around you. And when you start to get ideas, the flood of ideas start coming, that's when you would find a place like in the park, find a bench, find a seat somewhere, pull out your notebook or your pen or your little iPad keyboard and start writing until you find a natural stopping point. And then try and write for 5 minutes more. And don't think, just write. Again, you can edit it later. And the reason why the ideas kind of flow when you have the writing implements away from you or packed away, it's the same kind of concept as when you're taking a shower or you're washing the dishes or you may be doing the laundry. You seem to start to get good ideas. And it's because you've made white space in your mind for the ideas to come through. A lot of the time, and this is the reason why if you cultivate a meditation practice, sometimes your ideas will start to flow from that because you've simply given your mind a rest. And because you've given your mind a rest, the muses or the inspiration can start to flow. I know it sounds really woo-woo, but this is the kind of stuff that works for me. So I'm just conveying that to you.
By the way, guys, so obviously this was recorded quite a while ago while I still had blonde hair before, quarantine, where I decided to do my hair purple myself with overtone. But I actually just experienced what I was talking about earlier in this episode, just earlier while I was in the shower, because I'll talk a little bit about my my NaNoWriMo project that I'm doing currently. where I was in the shower and I just started to get these ideas of like my main character, and my main character has a sister who has a son. The main character right now in the storyline is in a police station. I originally had her as an only child, but now I decided, oh, well, who's going to come get her out of the police station? Okay, well, I'm going to have her have a sister. So I started to think of all of those things. So this is exactly the blank space that I was referring to. And this can happen anytime where you're in the shower or you're washing dishes. You start to get ideas because you've created the white space to be able to truly brainstorm. And I also want to really emphasize, like, I still have trouble with editing myself while I'm trying to write, especially with an endeavor such as NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. You don't have time for that. You are trying to get 50,000 words in a month. So all of those words are not going to be gems. This is the whole point of having a rough draft. You have time to edit it later. First, your goal, first and foremost, is to put together a relatively cohesive story that is at least 50,000 words in a month. You can edit it after. Edit it after November. Okay? Okay. So right now in this span of the video, we have some general writing tips and brainstorming tips for you. We will bring it in. We will bring in the tarot, I promise.
So now let's pull tarot into the mix.
I must be psychic.
So if you don't have a tarot deck of your own, I'm going to go ahead and pop a randomized tarot card generator into the chat so that you have that later on. I'm not going to display it on screen because it's just, a gibberishy URL.
I will.
So this is just a randomized tarot generator in which you can pull cards, but on the computer. And it doesn't offer interpretation. It's just the cards itself. But for our purposes, we don't need the interpretation. We don't need the divinatory meaning because we're not using the tarot in that way when we're using tarot for writing. So my best recommendation for you is using the images to brainstorm. Let me actually go back to my agenda
that lady
here.
that's talking, it's pretty smart. Yeah, it's
Silly
future
me.
Hilary and past Hilary or present.
I didn't even think about doing that. So we're talking about tarot and writing tonight if you're just tuning in. So we're going to get to brainstorming plot points. But all of this, all of what I'm saying can be used for each of the different problem points that I'm talking about. Brainstorming, character creation, clearing up writer's block. All of this can be used. All of these techniques can be used for each of these. So let me go back to my notes here. So we're talking about brainstorming plot points and using the images to brainstorm. So for example, as I was writing these notes, I went ahead and I went into the tarot card generator and I pulled one card for our purposes tonight, and I got the Three of Pentacles. So let me go ahead and display that up here. And actually, let me see if I can adjust, because I don't really need this.
By the way, this is when I was less used to using BeLive. I think I'm a little bit more seamless now.
1 second here.
Oh, that's sweet of you, Katie.
There we go. Okay. So I'm just changing out this for the purposes of seeing the Three of Pentacles a little bit easier as I'm talking about this.
Of course,
so
my face
this is the
right
card
over
that
it,
I
so
pulled.
Let me hide my face.
For our purposes tonight. And if you pulled this card,
This is the time for audience participation for those of us watching live, or if you're watching the replay, please feel free to put in the chat section, replay, I see this in the Three of Pentacles, or I would recommend doing X, Y, or Z, or if this was a story I was writing,
Actually,
I would
do that pretty well.
say this. So in what ways can you write based on this tarot card as a prompt? So for me, I like to write dialogue. So I'm wondering what these characters are saying to one another. I'm not thinking about the divinatory meanings of the Three of Pentacles, which is normally about teamwork, about different skill sets being put to use to create something greater than themselves. I'm not looking at that for divinatory guidance. I'm looking at it simply to brainstorm, being my brainstorming being influenced by the image that I see on the card. So me, I like to write dialogue. So I'm wondering what these characters are saying to one another. Is everything going to plan? Is there some conflict going on? I wish I had a pointer here, but I can't. The image is just there. So go ahead and take a look at the image as you're watching this. And you can either note it in our chat section here, or go ahead and make your own notes if you are taking notes based on this workshop. What do you see in the Three of Pentacles if you were writing a story, or even if nonfiction, fiction, it doesn't matter. In what ways can you use this card to brainstorm about what you're writing? Is he using the right tool? Are the two people that are standing down on the floor there and looking up at the guy that has it looks like a chisel in his hand? Are they gossiping about him? Are they thinking he's doing a good job or a bad job? Like, these are all things that you can brainstorm. I'm actually brainstorming or thinking about the book and the miniseries, The Pillars of the Earth, that was on, oh goodness, I think it was
Stars.
I think it was Showtime, if I'm remembering correctly.
It was Stars.
But it was all about the building of a cathedral and where the light hits and the architecture of light, basically making a church that filled with light. So those are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about when I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles for story creation. So go ahead and take a few moments and write some things down about the Three of Pentacles, or go ahead and use the generator that I provided to be inspired with your own stories or your own writing. I'm going to keep that up here as we move on here.
Just let me know
what other notes I have, other recommendations that I have. So this is a good technique for brainstorming plot points, character creation, dialogue creation. Lisa says, okay, let me go ahead and display this.
This is very meta. Well, Matrix,
Lisa says, looks like they're giving comments on his work, maybe giving him some comments of their own. Yeah, I agree with you, Lisa. That looks like that. Like, I mean, it's really about just giving yourself a little bit of brainstorming juice to be able to then have a stepping off point to your own writing, because either you're going to think about something completely new, or if you're a memoirist writing memoirs, it might give you a sense memory of childhood, or when you were building something, maybe when you were building with Legos or building blocks or Tinker Toys. So there are many ways to take this card, and as many people as there are, each person's going to see a different thing or be able to apply that in a different way to their particular writing. So again, like I said, character creation. You may want to look at something like the Three of Pentacles, or you may want to look at something like the court cards to be able to give you a structure on the characters that you're writing about. Let me see here. If you'll give me a second, indulge me a little bit. Let me see if I can pull another card as an example. Right here. So let me pause this for 1 second. So Nana, we will have our weekend forecast in which I pull a tarot card or an oracle card, but that is at the end of the episode. So right now we're covering tarot for writers, using tarot for brainstorming purposes, for character creation, because it's National Novel Writing Month. So stick around till the end of the episode and we will definitely do our weekend forecast. Okay? So deck or the Marseille, please don't feel constricted by this. I only recommend the Rider-Waite-Smith because there are stories, there's pictures, there's not just 3 pentacles on a plain background. We see a story in every card. So like, for example, here, if I got the 3 of Pentacles and then I got the Queen of Cups, what kind of story would I be telling there? Maybe the Queen of Cups has commissioned a new palace to be built, and those are the 3 builders that she's tasked with building her new palace by the sea. Might be a fantasy story, or it might be a modern story in which the Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, possibly psychic mother having triplets. I don't know. It's up to you to be inspired or not by these cards. So like here's the Queen of Cups there by itself. So definitely for character creation, you can use any of the cards, but maybe looking at the court cards or the major arcana, you would be more inspired with crafting your characters, because that is very figure centric, those cards. To all you would do about this technique or integrating the tarot deck would really help to clear up a bad case of writer's block. I mean, you would not even need a plot, truly. All you would do is write the description of what is on the card and then get really as detailed as you would like. Say that the queen was sitting on her throne by the salty sea and she was waiting for her lover to come back to her. Like, why is the queen sitting on the throne right there beside the sea? And it's just a way to brainstorm, to ignite or inspire you to write what you would like to write. It's a jumping off point, truly. So let me go ahead and look in the rest of my notes, because I don't think I have any more notes beside recommended books to share with you guys. So let me pull that back up. Let me pull my face back up here. Let me pull my face back up here. Fix my colors here because I really prefer this. There we go. Back again. Okay, so a couple of books that I would recommend. They're not specifically tarot books, some of them, but some of them are. So one book that I would really recommend if you're interested in writing and getting back to a writing practice, it's not a part of my original list, but I just thought of it right before I went live, is Stephen King's On Writing. Even if you're not a fan of Stephen King's writing, his book, it's the full title is On Writing, a Memoir of the Craft. And it is just very illuminating to see how he works, how his writing process is, and it also shares a little bit about where he got his ideas from and how he writes, and then how he edits himself afterwards. Like, So I want to stop it there because I think we've done enough of that particular episode. But if you wanted to watch the episode in its entirety, it is there. It's in both YouTube and also on Facebook. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the YouTube link in here. But it's just, I think, free workshop, tarot and writing. Let me show this in the stream again so you can see the cover image. And that way you can take a look at the entire episode, pause it where you need to, where you don't need to, and just go over it. If you need any tips or tricks about using tarot for writing. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm using tarot for writing for my current project that I'm doing for National Novel Writing Month. So the plot basically has kind of been revealed to me as I go, and I'm just pulling tarot cards all over the place. Hold on, let me put back up my my pretty background and everything, my overlay. All right, I don't need my logo anymore because I have it in my overlay. Thank you. Okay, so the reason why I'm pulling tarot cards all over the place for my particular NaNoWriMo project is because the plot is of a tarot card reader that is a consultant for the police. And so it's basically, she's a psychic consultant. She comes in to help solve crimes. And based on that, and based on her knowledge of the tarot cards, I wrote a scene in which she's reading for a client, and then the cops come in and bust her for psychic fraud. And then I was looking up the actual penal code that makes tarot reading quasi illegal, which it kind of is. Like, guys, if you're a tarot card reader or you're a psychic, remember to put for entertainment purposes only. That's for your protection and for clients' protection as well. Because look at your state and local laws. A lot of the time, even now in 2020, there are laws that prohibit psychic readings, and they kind of consider it a form of pickpocketing, a form of con artistry, a form of fraud, basically. So this is kind of a warning mixed into a fiction book, but it is on the books legally that it's considered along the same level as pickpocketing. Gosh, what was the penal code? Because I wrote it all down because I used it in my novel yesterday. I'd have to look it up, but it's along the same lines as like games of like Find the Lady, games of chance, gambling on the streets as well. So know your local laws, first of all, and second of all, you can use it for your NaNoWriMo book if you're writing about a tarot card reader. So yeah. Right, Katie? Still trying to burn all the witches. Yeah. So it is very important to know your local laws, pay your taxes, make sure you're doing everything the right way. So I always have that caveat on my website, actually, which is, right here, about my readings are for entertainment purposes only. That's not because I consider them a game. That's not because I consider them to be untrue or that I'm a con artist. I'm not, clearly. But that's for my legal protection and for your legal protection. Pay your taxes, treat your business like a business, as Teresa Reed says all the time. So I have been using the tarot quite frequently in almost every step, every day of the 6 days that have been in November so far. I actually started out the novel on November 2nd. So I lost a day, but I easily caught up. And I wanted to, at the top of the episode, I mentioned about the goal of NaNoWriMo is writing 50,000 words in a month, the month of November. And the minimum word count goal per day in order to do that would be 1,667 words. So this is the reason why I really want to emphasize, don't edit while you're writing. Not every word is going to be a gem. And you just want to write for quantity, not necessarily quality at this stage of the writing game. You can edit after November. And this is something that I often have to keep this in mind myself, because I get into this point where it's just like, oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm gonna erase it. And it's just like, don't erase it. Use it all. Rewrite different scenes if you need to. But truly the goal is get it down on the page. You can edit later. Oh gosh. So Katie's asking, where can we read your novel when you finish it? I don't know. I haven't published either of my two that I was successfully a winner for NaNoWriMo. The first one, I can't remember which year it was that I won, but one of them, the first one was The Curious Case of Lisa and Larry. That was my first win. And the second one was in 2017, and that was called Looking for Ernest. So one was like kind of science fiction, and the second one was more realistic fiction. The second one definitely had a tarot card reader in it, but she wasn't the main character. She helped the main character. This one, it's purely kind of science fiction-esque. It's like kind of an alternate version of the, I guess, the police department kind of has a pilot program in which they're using psychics as consultants, and they're kind of like a front runner. It's like a little bit Minority Report, a little bit Shut Eye, that Hulu series, and a little bit Orange is the New Black, which sounds very odd, but hopefully it'll make sense when people read it. But it's not published. None of them are. So I'll consider opening it up to a few people for beta reading when I feel like it's ready for it. But it probably won't be ready until the new year, I would say, because I want to take a crack at actually editing it first before letting people read it. But thank you for asking, Katie. Yeah, so... But this is the reason why I'm a little bit shy about it, because it's just like, you got to write it first. Write it. It's not all going to be gems. And let me just show you one of the spreads that I actually did in order to write a scene. Now, and then we'll continue on to the weekend forecast, because, guys, I got to go write. I got to do my writing count for the day. Does anyone have any questions about this topic before I go ahead and display this spread of tarot cards? Oh boy, where the hell did I put it? Gosh, I hope I didn't erase it. Here was some of my advice. So here's some advice that I had that I shared to Twitter, because I'm trying to make myself accountable by posting when I've hit my word count every single day. So here we go. Embarking on the NaNoWriMo journey a day late, playing catch up, but I'm kind of excited about this concept. I miss creating stories. I miss creating fictional words. I'm a 2-time Nano winner. I can do this, and so can you. If you're first timer, welcome to this crazy thing. You can do it. Discipline thyself. Allow your characters to do crazy things. Yell at them if you want to. It won't matter. They'll still do their own thing. Invest in a copy of No Plot, No Problem by Chris Beatty. So this is the founder of National Novel Writing Month, and it's a very slim volume, by the way. It's, let's see, it's about 172 pages, 173 pages. And actually, I'm not sure if this is actually 50,000 words. So 50,000 words is more considered a novella size novel rather than a novel. But 50,000 words, I think, was just like this concept where it was just like, it seemed more attainable, but also a, you know, worthy goal at the same time. So this is the book that I would recommend picking up to like kind of keep you on track, or just signing up at nanowrimo.org. So 1,667 words a day in 30 days gets you to 50K. They won't all be gems. Let the process happen. So Katie's got a question. I'll get to that in a second. So for day 6, for example, I should be hitting by the end of my, you know, writing time for today, I should be hitting 10,002 words. And right now, day 5, I have 8,335 words. Actually, I went a little bit over, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like hit my word count, but then go a little bit over just to give myself a little bit of a buffer time. And then for the weekends, I try and write even more than that. So I probably am going to be putting in significantly more words for tomorrow and for Sunday. Probably if the goal is 1,667 words a day, I will probably try and hit 2,000 words on Saturday and 2,000 words on Sunday, if not more. So let me post this spread. So Katie is asking, how long does it take you to write your daily allowance? That's a really great question, because I haven't been timing myself, and I probably should, because it's like kind of, gosh, what is the phrase for it? There's a really specific term for the amount of work expands to the time you give it. So sometimes you really want to time it, because otherwise you're going to take up the entire amount of time. Like if you set yourself 4 hours, you're going to take up that entire 4 hours. Maybe the work doesn't take 4 hours, but because you've set that up in your mind, the work expands to fill the time that you give it. So let me see here. Called Parkinson's Law. Work expands to fill time. How long does it take to hit words? Let me look. I'm going to follow this post. Okay, that's kind of weird. That's not what I was looking for. I think it really depends, especially if I get into writing a scene, it goes quicker. But I would say 2 to 3 hours. Really depends, and depends on how fast I'm typing. I don't usually handwrite. I usually type, and I did take typing, keyboarding when I was in middle school. So I'm not like a hunt and peck typer. I'm actually typing. I find that I type faster than I handwrite, and that it just like kind of comes out at me if I'm on a computer versus like writing down ideas. However, when I was in the shower, I did have those ideas that I was describing before. And as soon as I got out of the shower, I made sure to pull out like a little notepad on my computer and just write down some quick ideas so that I can have a jumping off point for my next writing session. So like, for example, like her sister's name is Sophie. She has a son. Sophie has a son, so that's Emily's nephew. Sophie comes to get Emily at the police station. She was told by the shop owner that Emily had been taken away by the cops. That was a scene that I had written previously. So it's basically getting your character into these crazy situations and then trying to get them out of it. Like there is no story without some kind of fundamental conflict. And also trying to make sure that you kind of know where the end is. You don't know how it's going to get there, but you kind of have an ending in mind, and then you're like kind of writing backwards. However, that's easier said than done when your characters don't do what they want when you want them to do. So my character's very snarky, and she keeps on saying all the wrong things at the wrong time. But it's very interesting, and it also adds to the word count as well. And like I was saying in the video from before, I like really excel at writing dialogue. I have an ear for it. And that's what I like to write. So a lot of it is not exposition for me. It's more from the dialogue and what the characters are saying. You can kind of tell what's going on and what a character is from who a character is from what they say. So that's kind of a long-winded way of answering about 2 to 3 hours. It really does depend on if I'm into the scene that I'm writing, which is the reason why I'm saying like just go off the cuff and try not to edit while you're writing. Because then the time is gonna balloon, and then you're just gonna get frustrated, and then you're just not gonna win NaNoWriMo. So like this is something that I always have to say to myself, like write in November, edit in December. Write in November, edit in December. So that's about the amount of time. Also, there's a couple of different tools that I want to recommend. Like for the concept of writing on a timer, I really do try to stick to the Pomodoro method, which is focused work for 25 minutes, 25 minutes on, 5-minute breaks, and as many Pomodoros as I can, as many 25 to 5, 25 minutes of focus time, 5-minute breaks, as many as I can to get the writing done. So, and I do try to stick to those breaks because otherwise I would go crazy. However, if I am into a scene and like I'm really in it and it's flowing, I'm going to ignore when the ding goes off for the timer and I'm going to keep going. Sometimes that's like a modified Pomodoro where you do 25 minutes, then you push it for 5 minutes more, and then you take a break. So speaking of that, there's a couple of tools that I use. I use the website 750words.com, and that keeps track of the word count. It also keeps track of your typing speed, and yeah, there's a bunch of things that it keeps track of. I think there is a trial version, but eventually you do have to pay for it. I do pay for it. And I think it's like no more than $5 a month. It's not that expensive for what I use it for. It's not expensive and I happily pay it. But on that website, 750words.com, it's like kind of a morning pages practice. So that's the reason why it says 750 words. That would be 3 pages of writing. They do have, like, once you hit 750 words, it gives you like kind of a counter that says, yay, you did it. If you go past it and you hit 1,667 words, which is like that magic number for daily writing for NaNoWriMo, it then will alert again saying like, hey, we think that you're working on a NaNoWriMo novel. Good for you. You hit the minimum word count for the daily goal. So So it's a really good tool to use, also to keep track of how many words that you write in the day, because it's all about the quantity of words for NaNoWriMo, not necessarily the quality. I also use Focus at Will is another thing that I use. Again, it's a subscription. I do pay for it. But that you can set a timer, and whatever timer you set, it has different background music, depending on what makes you particularly motivated or focused. And there is a quiz that goes along with it. So for me, classical music works really well. Spa music works really well. And like water, like rainfall works really well. But that you can check out. Hold on, let me pull up these different websites so that I can put them into the chat. And then we will move on to the weekend forecast. Yeah, there's a free trial for Focus at Will as well. And it tells you all about it. It also, again, is really, really helpful to let other people in your household know that you're doing this, even if you don't participate in NaNoWriMo, but you decide to do it another month, or you decide to pick up a daily writing practice. And so you may not have the ambitious goal of writing to that amount in a month, but you still have a goal, right? Getting the buy-in of the people in your household in order to help you with that goal is like super, super important. So this is the reason why I do my broadcasts every Friday night. I did take off last Friday in order to celebrate Samhain, aka Halloween. But before that, we did the Blue-Nosed Witch, and I do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is something that I commit to. Same thing with NaNoWriMo, same thing with my writing practice. And so when I have to do that, as well as when I have to record this, my husband is on the other couch right now, occupying himself, doing his own thing, and then looking up every so often, if he knows that I'm not recording, but if he knows that I'm writing, looking up and saying, how are you doing? Do you need anything? Do you want me to get dinner? What's going on? And if he sees me start to go off track, he's just like, have you gotten your writing done yet? No, get your writing done. But it's helpful because I'm telling you, the first time I won NaNoWriMo, I wouldn't have been able to do it without him because he kept me on track. So I think it's really, really helpful to not only keep yourself on track and to have your goals and to know how you work best, but also having the buy-in of the people around you really, really helps. And so the first NaNoWriMo win and the first novel I wrote, if I ever do get it published, there's a dedication page, and the dedication is to him, because without him, I wouldn't have been able to write it. So here is Focus at Will, which is the timed thing. And forgot to put that in while I was singing the praises of my husband. Wait for that to propagate. Have myself another sip of the pumpkin beer. You know, if I can't have Rosemary's Baby, this is a very nice alternative. And here is 750words.com. And I also did find another one. Hold on, this is one that I just started using, and it is for free, but they do ask for donations or help or whatever. It's called Write Track. And it's a tool for tracking your progress as you work towards reaching your personal writing goals. and it adjusts based on your personal schedule. So I will put that in here as well. So I just started using it, and I think it's really helpful. Because right now, I think my writing goals going forward are 1,661 words instead of 1,667, based on the writing that I've already done. So I'll show that one. So that one I think is for free, but it is based on donation. So if you do find it helpful, I would recommend giving a nice donation to them so they can keep it going. All right. Any other questions about tarot and writing before we move on to the weekend forecast, which I know some of you are here for the weekend forecast and the weekend forecast alone, and that's okay. But you know what? Other people were here for the topic and also because they're regular viewers, which I appreciate. So I also want to point out before we move into the weekend forecast that we do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, this same bat time, same bat channel, both on Facebook and simulcasting to YouTube. So if you enjoyed this episode, tune in again next week. I will try and put up an agenda for November, but I figured for the start of November, since it is National Novel Writing Month, I thought we should revisit tarot and writing. So Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, come on back. I'm always open to different tarot topics, runes, I Ching, tarot, of course, spirit boards, mediumship, you name it. I'm your girl for it, even though I am primarily a tarot card reader. I know just enough astrology to be dangerous. What else? Oh, also, if you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and share it with your friends. Bring some people on board. If you know that some people are doing this craziness of NaNoWriMo and it's not your personal cup of tea, but you know people that are doing it, share this episode with them if you know it's going to be helpful to them. All right, doesn't look like there's any other questions about tarot and writing, so we are going to move on to the weekend forecast. Okay. Let us see. Oh yeah, and I did already hold this up, right? I think I did. No Plot, No Problem by Chris Beatty. Very, very helpful. I have this particular page, page 50, like permanently bookmarked, doing the numbers where you should be on each day of the word parade. We'll do the worst case scenario math and assume you're writing your novel in a 30-day month. So that's why I keep on saying the magic number. I've got it memorized, 1,667 words. So this is the breakdown by day. And I think on the NaNoWriMo, oh, I didn't share, did I share the NaNoWriMo website? Silly me. That is important, guys. I will write that down too. Like really easy to remember because it's right there. I've been going to it every day. Wait for that to pop up. You know, I'm thinking we're going to pull from the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot for the weekend forecast. Just because I'm grooving on that, feeling drawn to it today. I'm telling you, this side of the couch is just covered in tarot card decks right now. So there we go. That'll pop up. So that is the website, the official website for National Novel Writing Month. The, I can do it, okay. The NA is for national, the NO is for novel, the WRI is for writing, and the MO is for month, National Novel Writing Month.org. So go check it out. Just because it's day 6 doesn't mean you're out of the running yet. You can still catch up. But if you feel too overwhelmed by that, there's always next year, or there's always next month if you want to do it on your own. You did! Dina's here. Hi, Dina. Made it to the weekend forecast. You absolutely did. We're just finishing up tarot and writing. Okay, so we are going to pull from the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot by Lola Pickett with Cosmic Animal Art by Tanya Castile. This is a really, really wonderful, wonderful deck. And it's like, this doesn't even do it justice. Where is my selfie light? Hold on. My selfie light I don't think is charged up enough, though. I keep on forgetting to charge it, especially when I'm wearing my glasses. It's too glary for me. Like, see, look at the ring right in my glasses. But there you go. There. Look how beautiful it is. It's such a gorgeous deck, really. It's a gorgeous deck and a gorgeous guidebook as well. Ooh. Like I'm telling you, there's just a pile of mess over here. Just tarot books and tarot decks everywhere. This is the guidebook. And the guidebook comes with a little ribbon built in. There's also a PDF version as well. So that's helpful for me to like search things really quickly, but I love decks and I love guidebooks. Okay. Now check out the backs of this. And they're, look, it's, oh yeah. The only thing that would make this deck a little bit better is if they had silver edges. But I am not going to fault them for not. Yeah, I'm going to have to charge up my selfie light. Okay. Are we ready for the weekend forecast? Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I didn't even show you guys the, hold on. So this was the spread that I did the other day. And this was when the my main character was at the crime scene and she had to like testify, but she was testifying based on, you know, her psychic impressions and everything. And these are the cards that came up, and I had originally pulled the Knight of Wands before that. So what I was doing is I was trying to pull one card each to try and structure like what scene I was going to write or how it would relate. And so I'm trying to make each chapter be a different tarot card name. So the chapter I ended up writing like chapter 2 or chapter 3 or whatever, Knight of Wands. And then I started to write the scene, and then I wanted a little bit more information, or I wanted my psychic to have a little bit more information. So I generated this and the Knight of Wands came up. You know, I didn't pick it. It came up, and then it was like, it was a murder scene. And so she's reading it, and it like, the end card was death, devil and death. Like it just lined up so perfectly with what where I was thinking about going or where I was going to write. And then to like see it brought out in the tarot cards made me laugh, and it made me feel as if like my tarot was like very, very excited that it's being included so intrinsically in this particular NaNoWriMo attempt. So I have a feeling it's going to be really, really easy to get to my 50,000 words by the end of the month. And it's going to be like super, super tarot. tarot related because she is a tarot reader. I've got like tarot all over this book. So it's exciting. And I don't feel like I have to really struggle with the writing. But then again, it's also the first week. It always gets a little bit tougher when you get to week 3, because then you're just like, oh boy, I'm at like the 25,000 word count and I still have to get to 50,000. So I'm only halfway there. So, all right, back to the weekend forecast. Yes. Wow. And a new way to use tarot instead of asking, will he come back? Well, you know my sense of humor, Dina. And it's just like, if you got to ask, then you already kind of have the answer. I do try and have a sense of compassion, though, for those kinds of questions. I remember the time when I was not married and I was always asking about love in the cards and annoying other tarot readers about it. So, you know, now that the shoe is on the other foot, I try to have compassion for those people, even though it is hard sometimes. You keep on asking. Okay, so speaking of love, speaking of when will he come back, we are getting the Master of Water, I believe. It's a beautiful deck. Again, we are using the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot for today's, or for the weekend forecast. So let me go ahead and look it up in my beautiful guidebook. As always, if there is a guidebook that goes along with it, I will read the interpretation from the guidebook and then I will give you my own interpretation. Let's see here. Beautiful table of contents. Water. Yeah. Blue Whale, I believe. This is 234. This particular deck has 2 like wild cards as well. It's really beautiful. Manta Ray. There you are. Yes, Blue Whale, Master of Water. So. And this is like a full color book too. It's just gorgeous. There's a lot of words here. So I'll try and hit the high points. All right. And this also comes along with the invocation as well. So I'll say the invocation first. Blue Whale, I call upon your grandiosity to help me take up my space in my life. I invoke your booming voice to help me speak my truth and advocate for my needs. May I channel your energy today and amplify my capacity to love and heal, beginning with myself. Self-care, guys, very, very important today and for this weekend. Blue whales are the largest animal on Earth, almost as though they are the sequoia trees swimming in the ocean. One of our last remaining megafauna, they are a messenger of your true capacity to hold emotional space and depth. Blue whale is a harbinger of a love as expansive and unconditional as the sky. By holding firm boundaries, taking time and space for yourself, and caring for yourself deeply, you grow your ability to be compassionate and hold empathy for others without drowning yourself in the process. Hold yourself as a sacred being and remember to come up for air if you've taken on the role of being a caregiver or a healer for someone you love. Even the most powerful healers must take time and space for regrouping themselves and grounding. Perhaps this practice is exactly what makes them so powerful. If you have been feeling overwhelmed or bowled over by other people's emotions and needs lately, ask yourself, what do you need right now? It's a bold question to ask when you're used to giving all of your attention or giving your all to everybody else. Emotional freedom comes not from mastering your emotions, but from the ability to tell or reframe the stories and judgments you hold about the feelings you're experiencing. So some of this is also from the blue whale's perspective. Yeah, beautiful blue color. Gorgeous, right? So if you want to have the widest and deepest capacity for healing, abundance, compassion, creativity, or intelligence, you must also take up space in your life. Your energetic body is far more expansive than your physical self, but you may have held it in, stuffed your feelings, or otherwise compensated by shrinking yourself. It's time now to unfurl your own self-rejection and self-judgment, to expand beyond your internalized depression, your repression. No matter the rejections or judgments that have come your way or the shame you've carried, this is the moment for letting all of those haunting feelings go. Your heart is the way forward. With the heart the size of a vehicle and a tongue that weighs more than a grown elephant, so that's the blue whale, I'm here to affirm that your heart is the way forward and that there is great heft in your words. Not only am I thought to be the largest mammal to have lived, I am also the loudest, making clicks, roars, and signals that rival the volume of jet engines. My voice ripples out over 1,000 miles underwater. Do you think I let anyone stop me from singing my song? Okay, I'm like about to cry. Do not hesitate to boom when you own your true size and step into the magnitude of beingness that you are at every level. That positive impact sends shockwaves of inspiration far and wide. Your self-reclamation is the remedy for the raging humanity-wide epidemic of not enoughness. I don't think I need to interpret that. And then it has a full page. It's really beautifully done. If you guys don't have this deck, I don't know if it's still in print. I got this from Kickstarter, and I'm like really, really happy that I did because it's so beautiful. Actually, let me see if it is available though. I'll put it in here if it is. Wild Messengers. Oh, sorry guys, it's out of stock. Oh, but the second edition may be coming soon. So there is a pop-up about the second edition Kickstarter campaign. So I have the first edition. I'm sure the second edition will be just as beautiful, if not more so. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, Dina, unfortunately, it's sold out right now, but they're working on the second edition. So I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. So there you go. Just wildmessengers.com. Beautiful. I think this is going to have to be our card of the day for today too. But this is the weekend forecast. The Master of Water from the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot. Go ahead and put your name on the wait list for the second edition if you don't already have it. It really is a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. And every single card in the 78 cards of the tarot is wonderfully matched between the animal that they use and the energy of that tarot card. It's not a mismatch in any one of them that I've seen out of all 78 cards. It's really, really amazing what they did. Because sometimes it's just like, oh, let's just slap an animal on there for animal's sake and not really understand the meaning. No, that did not happen for this deck.
every single match of animal to tarot card energy, there is a match there. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. It's already 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the time of the recording. So, oh, that is not what I meant to do at all. All right, there we go. So just a reminder, everybody, I do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank you so much for watching. I hope this really helped you to learn a different way of using tarot, not just for a divination tool, but to use it as a brainstorming tool to break some writer's block, get some ideas for your writing project, possibly inspire you if you're working on your NaNoWriMo novel. I know I am. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the weekend forecast. I hope it really helps you. I think the main message is to, you know, occupy your own space, be proud, like don't make anybody let you feel small. And also remember to take time to take care of yourself this weekend. I know that there are a lot of big feelings going on, but remember, like, it's important to take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Dina, for showing up. Even though you were late, you still made it to the weekend forecast. You can watch the rest of the episode later. Thank you, Katie, for attending. Nana Champ as well. Everyone that's watching, Zuri, and everyone that's watching that didn't comment. I thank you for watching and witnessing in silence. And yeah, I do this with, oh, go blue. Yeah, well, that's true, Dina. Good eye. Well done. Yeah, go blue, right? Katie says, good luck with your novel. Thank you very much. Professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with your intuition, because yes, my friend, don't argue with me. You have intuition. You also have feelings. You also need to take care of yourself, because you are worth it just by existing. All right. Good night. See you all next Friday.